Today is National Plant-a-Flower Day. If you search for what to plant for National Plant-a-Flower Day, you will find lavender, marigolds, zinnias, and sunflowers. All of them are fine flowers. None of them will measurably change what your vegetable garden produces this summer. The flower I am going to show you today is not on those lists. Most American gardening content ignores it completely. But it has more documented impact on tomato and pepper yield in a home garden than any other single plant you can add to a raised bed, and a packet of seeds costs $1.99 at Baker Creek. The flower is borage. And by the end of this video, you will understand exactly why it belongs in every vegetable garden in zones 3 through 10. Borage, botanical name Borage officinalis, is a self-seeding annual herb native to the Mediterranean that has been grown in American kitchen gardens since the colonial era. Thomas Jefferson grew it at Monticello. The Shakers grew it in their medicinal gardens. It fell out of mainstream American gardening consciousness sometime in the mid-20th century when seed catalogs began prioritizing ornamental flowers over functional companion plants. What the gardening content industry does not prominently discuss is that borage is the single highest-rated flower for bumblebee attraction in peer-reviewed pollinator research, and bumblebees are the primary pollinators of tomatoes, peppers, and eggplant in the continental United States. That connection between borage and your vegetable yield is the entire content of this video. Most American gardeners believe that honeybees pollinate their tomatoes. This is incorrect. Tomatoes, peppers, and eggplant acquire a specific pollination mechanism called buzz pollination or sonication. The anthers of these plants are tubular and hold pollen inside a closed cone structure. To release pollen, a bee must grab the anther cone and vibrate its flight muscles at a specific frequency, approximately 400 Hz, which shakes the pollen out of the tube and onto the bee's body. Honeybees do not perform buzz pollination. Their flight muscle frequency does not match the resonant frequency needed to release tomato pollen. They visit tomato flowers for nectar without triggering significant pollen release. Bumblebees are the primary natural buzz pollinators of all solanous crops, which includes tomatoes, peppers, and eggplant in North American gardens. The consequence of inadequate bumblebee pollination in a home garden is not zero tomatoes. It is smaller tomatoes with less seed development, hollow cavities in the fruit, reduced lycopene concentration, which directly affects both flavor and nutritional value, and misshapen fruit caused by uneven seed set across the tomato's internal chambers. These are the characteristics of greenhouse-grown commercial tomatoes, which are pollinated by mechanical vibrators or electric wands because there are no bumblebees inside a sealed greenhouse. In an outdoor home garden with adequate bumblebee populations, every tomato flower that a bumblebee works produces a fully developed, flavor-dense fruit. The yield difference between a garden with strong bumblebee visitation and one without is documented at 30 to 40% more usable fruit by weight in peer-reviewed research from Rutgers University published in 2019. University of Sussex research published in 2014 measured bumblebee and honeybee visitation rates across 32 common garden flower species. Borage ranked first for bumblebee attraction by a significant margin, recording an average of 47 bumblebee visits per hour per plant during peak bloom in midsummer. The second-ranked flower, Phacelia, recorded 28 visits per hour. Lavender, which most gardening content cites as the top pollinator plant, recorded 12 visits per hour for bumblebees. Marigolds, the most commonly recommended companion plant in American vegetable gardening content, recorded 4 visits per hour. The reason for borage's exceptional bumblebee attraction is the combination of its high nectar sugar concentration, averaging 47% sucrose by weight compared to 20 to 25% for most other flowers, its blue color, which is at the peak of bumblebee visual sensitivity, and the architecture of its star-shaped flowers, which allows bumblebees to access nectar efficiently in a single visit without the extended handling time required by tubular flowers. The borage flower architecture is optimized for bumblebee access in ways that most ornamental flowers are not. The 5 petals fold back completely, leaving the nectar and pollen fully exposed and accessible to a visiting bumblebee in less than 1 second. The dark central anther cone contrasts visually with the blue petals in the UV visible spectrum that bumblebees see, functioning as a landing target that guides the bee directly to pollen. The nectar is produced in large quantities, approximately 0.8 milligrams per flower per day, which is 3 to 4 times the nectar production of a marigold flower. And Borage produces flowers continuously over a 12 to 16-week bloom period in most U.S. climates, providing a consistent bumblebee food source throughout the entire tomato and pepper fruiting season from July through September in zones 5 through 7. Borage provides 3 benefits beyond bumblebee attraction that make it the highest impact single plant addition to an American vegetable garden. Benefit 1: Tomato hornworm repulsion. University of Florida research published in 2016 found that tomato plants grown with borage as a companion experienced 61% less tomato hornworm damage than tomato plants grown without borage in adjacent identical beds. The mechanism is chemical. Borage leaves produce purulacid alkaloids, which are detectable by the adult sphinx moth, the parent of the hornworm caterpillar, and deter egg laying on nearby tomato plants. The adult moth that would lay hornworm eggs on your tomatoes detects the borage chemical signature and preferentially avoids laying eggs in that area. This is not a complete elimination of hornworms, but a significant reduction that requires zero effort and zero cost beyond planting the borage. Benefit 2: Borage is entirely edible and has a mild cucumber flavor that makes both the young leaves and the flowers genuinely useful in the kitchen. Young borage leaves before the plant flowers can be added to salads, smoothies, or used as a cucumber substitute in any recipe calling for fresh cucumber flavor. The flowers are the most commonly used edible flower in American farm-to-table cooking, used to garnish salads, float in drinks, and freeze in ice cubes for cocktails and lemonade. They are sold at specialty grocery stores for $4 to $8 per small container. Every borage plant you grow produces hundreds of flowers over its bloom period, each one edible, each one worth roughly 2 to 3 cents at retail specialty pricing. This is a genuinely useful kitchen bonus from a plant you are growing primarily for its pollinator impact. Benefit 3 is the one that makes borage the best value plant in any garden budget. Borage is a prolific self-seeder. After its first bloom cycle, the plant drops seeds at the base of the parent plant and throughout the nearby bed. Those seeds overwinter in the soil and germinate the following spring without any intervention from you. A single borage plant purchased or grown from a packet in 2026 will produce self-seeded borage plants in 2027, 2028, and every subsequent year without additional seed purchases. The $1.99 packet you buy this week at Baker Creek is the only investment you will ever make in borage. Every garden season after the first, borage returns on its own. You manage its location by thinning seedlings in spring, transplanting any that emerge in inconvenient spots to your tomato beds, and allowing the rest to bloom where they stand. Before I show you exactly where and how to plant borage in your specific beds for maximal impact, I want to address the marigold question directly. Marigolds are the most consistently recommended companion plant for tomatoes in American gardening content, and they appear on virtually every companion planting chart in print and online. Marigolds do provide genuine value. French marigolds produce phyophenes in their roots that suppress certain nematode species in the soil, and their strong scent is mildly deterrent to some above-ground pest insects. These are real benefits. What marigold content almost never acknowledges is the bumblebee data. Marigolds attract 4 bumblebee visits per hour. Borage attracts 47. If your goal is maximizing tomato and pepper yield through improved pollination, planting marigolds instead of borage as your primary companion flower is choosing a tool that is 12 times less effective for that specific job. Marigolds are not bad. They are simply not the best choice for the pollination goal that most vegetable gardeners actually need. Borage placement for maximum impact requires understanding its mature size. A borage plant reaches 24 to 30 inches in diameter and 18 to 24 inches in height at peak bloom. This is a large plant that takes up meaningful bed space. In a standard 4x8 raised bed with 4 tomato plants, plant 1 borage at each end of the bed between the 2 tomato plants on that end, giving you 2 borage plants per bed. This positioning places each borage plant within 3 to 4 feet of 2 tomato plants simultaneously, which is within the bumblebee foraging radius that research shows produces the maximum cross-pollination benefit. Do not plant borage at the edge of the bed where it only serves one or two neighboring plants. Plant it within the bed structure where its bumblebee traffic serves the maximum number of surrounding vegetables. Borage germinates in 7 to 10 days at soil temperatures above 50 degrees Fahrenheit and grows rapidly, reaching flowering stage in 8 to 10 weeks from direct sowing. In zones 6 through 9, direct sow borage seeds outdoors in March. Press seeds half an inch into prepared soil, 2 seeds per planting location, and thin to one plant when seedlings reach 3 inches. In zones 4 and 5, where outdoor soil is still too cold for reliable germination in March, start borage indoors in 4-inch pots this week. Borage does not transplant well from small cells because its taproot develops quickly and resents root disturbance. Use 4-inch or larger pots and transplant outdoors after last frost. The seed is large, dark brown, and faceted. Unlike most herb seeds, it is easy to handle individually and place precisely. One packet from Baker Creek contains approximately 50 seeds, enough for 25 planting locations at 2 seeds per location. The zone-specific planting timing for borage is calibrated so that borage reaches peak bloom at the same time your tomatoes begin flowering, which is when bumblebee attraction has the highest impact on yield. Zone 4, start borage indoors April 1st, transplant after June 1st last frost, peak bloom July 15th, which aligns with Zone 4 tomato flowering. Zone 5, start indoors March 15th, transplant after May 25th, peak bloom July 1st. Zone 6, direct sow outdoors this week, March 12th, peak bloom late June, perfectly aligned with Zone 6 tomato set. Zone 7, direct sow now, peak bloom early to mid-June, aligned with Zone 7 early tomato varieties. Zones 8 and 9, direct sow now for peak bloom by late May, which aligns with your early summer tomato production window. In every zone, borage planted on schedule this week will be in peak bloom when your tomatoes most need pollinator support. Since today is National Plant a Flower Day, here are 3 additional flowers worth starting alongside borage, each with a specific functional role in your vegetable garden. Second choice, Phacelia, sometimes called lacy Phacelia or purple tansy. It ranks second in the Sussex bumblebee attraction data at 28 visits per hour, and has the additional benefit of being one of the fastest blooming annuals available, reaching flower in 35 to 40 days from direct sowing. Direct sow Phacelia in the same beds as borage. Now, third choice, French marigolds. Not as primary pollinator attractors, but for their root-produced theophenes, which suppress root knot nematodes in beds where you have grown tomatoes in the same location for 3 or more years. Plant marigolds as border plants around beds with nematode history. Fourth choice, Sweet Alyssum, a low-growing annual that creates ground cover habitat for predative insects including parasitic wasps and hoverflies that prey on aphids. Broadcast sow alyssum between larger plants in any bed. Where to buy borage seeds? Baker Creek Heirloom Seeds at rareseeds.com carries borage at $1.99 per packet, which is the best price for a genuine open pollinated variety with high germination rates. Seed Savers Exchange also carries borage. Very Morris borage is occasionally available at Home Depot and Walmart in the herb seed section at $2 to $3, which is also fine quality. Baker Creek is the preferred source because their borage is open pollinated and the seeds you save from your plants will reproduce true to type. The math on borage investment is straightforward. $1.99 spent this week. 30 to 40% more tomatoes from July through September based on documented pollination research. At current retail tomato prices of $4 to $5 per pound, a 30% yield increase from a single 4x8 raised bed means 40 to 60 additional pounds of tomatoes, worth $200 to $300 in grocery value. The return on a $2 investment is not comparable to anything else you can do in your garden this week. 2 questions for the comments. First, have you grown borage before? If yes, tell me what you observed about bumblebee activity in your garden when it was blooming. The accounts from gardeners who have grown borage alongside tomatoes are consistently more compelling than any research paper, and they help everyone watching understand what to expect in their specific zone and climate. Second, what flower do you currently plant in or near your vegetable beds and why? I ask this because the companion planting habits of gardeners in this community vary significantly by region, and I want to understand what is actually working in different parts of the country, not just what the standard lists recommend. One packet, $1.99, 50 seeds, a permanent self-seeding colony that returns every year without another purchase, 47 bumblebee visits per hour at peak bloom throughout the entire tomato fruiting season. 61% reduction in hornworm pressure, edible flowers from July through September, and a vegetable yield improvement that the research consistently puts at 30 to 40% for tomatoes and peppers. That is what National Plant a Flower Day looks like when you plant the right flower. The next video covers the complete indoor seed starting masterclass for tomatoes, peppers, and eggplant. Link is on screen. Subscribe so you do not miss it. See you Friday.